Welcome in to Seahawks Today live here on Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. So glad to have you with us. We have a big show on tap today, and we will tell you what is ahead in just a few moments from right now. Before we do that, though, this is our build-up portion of the show where we ask you questions and let everybody kind of file in piece by piece before we officially get started. And here's what I need. Right now, we're at 7 likes. I need to get to 50 likes to officially start today's show. So with that, as you file in and as your friends get here, make sure they hit that like button as well. Nick Fury, I see, checking in. Chris is here. Elizabeth is here. Guys, tell all your friends as they're getting in the chat, make sure they hit that like button so we can get going with today's show. I see Wayne is here. Where are you guys watching from? We are in beautiful Dallas, Texas. The Chat Sports headquarters in downtown Dallas is where we are located. And I see Nick checking in from North Carolina. Seahawks fan checking in from Jackson. I see JTB from California. Outpost checking in from Washington. I see Evan in Kent, Washington. Seahawks fan in Mississippi. The legendary Mark Sanchez is in the house. He says, let's get it. Mark, we are in for quite a day. I can tell you that much, my friend. Everybody, hit that like button. I'm putting it in the chat right now to make sure you guys hit the like button so we can officially get started. I see Chris checking in from Spokane. Let us know where you are watching from today here on Seahawks Today. Seahawks taking out the Saints, coming in on a win against the Detroit Lions last week. Can they get 2 straight wins? How will they do against the Saints this weekend? Predict the score. How are things going to work out? I will give you my prediction later on in the show. That's what we call a tease in the biz. But I want to hear from you guys. Weigh in now. Tell me how Sunday is ultimately going to play out. Predict the score. Will it be a Seahawks win? What will the score exactly be? Let us know in the comment section. And let's see. What do you guys have for your score predictions? When you guys get those in, then I will reveal your predictions. Let's see here. I see Seahawks fan says 28-35. Who wins, though, Seahawks fan? I assume Seattle? With the name Seahawks fan. I would think that's the case. What do you guys got? Send me your score predictions. Let's see. Mark says, I don't think it's going our way this week. We'll see. Chris says, who's starting at quarterback for the Saints? It's either Andy Dalton or Jameis Winston. Don't know that answer officially yet. We'll have more on that later. Nathan says Seattle 31-24. Seahawks fan says Seahawks 35-28. Thanks for clarifying that, Seahawks fan. Nick Fury says Seattle 28-20. I see JTB Voodoo says Seattle 28-10. Wayne says 72-69. Nice. Seattle. Sean says Seahawks win 20-10. Thanks, guys, for those score predictions. Let's see. I see Evan checking in as well, 21-17. How would you grade Geno's start to the 2022 season so far? I put that in as our poll question today, but go ahead and let me know in the chat as well the grade that you would give Geno Smith to this point, whether it's an A, B, C, D, or F. After last week's performance, for me, I think Geno's played really good. I would give him a B personally because we haven't seen him play like that every week. The flashes have been there, right? The Denver game, what he was able to do last week, but we haven't seen it consistent in those 4 weeks. So I would go with B personally. I see Micaiah says A-. Seahawks fan says B. Sean Max says B+. JTB Voodoo says solid B. The poll results so far, 58% of you say A, 39% say B, just 3% say C. Definitely not D or F. That's why we didn't even include it as a poll option. Saigon says B. Nick Fury says Geno has played and improved. B- for me, Tyler. Mark Sanchez says B-. Okay. Who is your least favorite Seahawks player of all time? I'm very curious to know. We always talk the positives around here. But be real with me. Sound off in the comment section. Be honest, folks. Who is your least favorite Seahawks player of all time? I feel like that we're going to get a lot of Brian Bosworth answers and a lot of Russell Wilson answers on this question. Who is the answer, though? I'm very curious who comes to mind of your least favorite Seahawks player that you've seen in your lifetime here, folks. Let's see what the section says. Nick says Earl Thomas. Okay. Matthew Jefferson says Trey Flowers. Nathan Weiss says Josh Jones looks pretty terrible. Mark Sanchez says L.J. Collier. Thomas Rolls. Trey Flowers. Okay. Josh Jones. Josh Jones, of course, still plays for the Seahawks. Trey Flowers on there. Let me know what you guys have. Who is your least favorite Seahawks player that you've seen? By the way, we're at 24 likes right now. I need double that to officially start the show. So as you guys file in, like today's video. I'm putting that in the chat right now. Like the video, everybody, so we can officially get going. And this next question, I see Cam Chancellor's in there, Josh Jones, Trey Flowers. So far, the consensus seems to be Trey Flowers is that guy that you guys – oh, Mark Sanchez has changed my mind. Aaron Curry. Okay. Now, here's the next question. And I'm going to bring in – Chugsy's off today. He's taking a personal day today. He'll be back next week. And I'm going to bring in Matthew Peterson, who you guys remember was here for the Broncos watch party. Yes, that Matthew Peterson is here. Welcome back, Petey. Glad to have you with us. I am bringing you in for this question. What an introduction here. We know what happened on Sunday when DK Metcalf had to get carted to go use the bathroom. And so I figured I would poll the fans out there. Have you ever peed in the shower? Petey, you can answer first.
I'm going to honestly say no. I do not.
You are a liar.
No, and here's the thing, is I'm actually not even lying. I once, in like 5th grade, went on a school trip to the water cleaning plant, and it was pretty eye-opening of, it's a couple guys tossing like Clorox in a huge tub of water, and they're like, it gets kind of clean. And ever since then, I have been scared straight of, I'm not peeing in the shower because it comes right back, I think. So I will absolutely and honestly say no. I wait until after or before, I wouldn't say a decent human because I know I'm in the minority, but I do not pee in the shower. Now, do you poop in the shower? That's next question.
Mark Sanchez says you're flat out lying.
I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth.
Seahawks fan. So far, all the comments say yes. Seahawks fan, Sean, Seigan, Nick. Sean says I did a couple times actually. Sean says respect to that. Yeah, I mean, Petey's the first person I've ever met that's never peed in the shower before. I mean, like, it feels like a rite of passage. I mean, there's two things every man must do in their life in the shower. Here we go. Petey could have paused right. Just pause right there. One is you got to pee in the shower. The other is a shower beer. Have you ever had a shower beer?
Yeah, I'm not a communist. Of course I've had shower beers.
You've had at least a shower beer. That's
but
good.
No, I do not pee in the shower. I just not going to happen. I am a big boy. I am potty trained. I'm potty trained. You're not.
Hey, you know what? I mean, you're killing two birds with one stone because you're showering and you don't have to flush the toilet that way. You're getting it done twice. So, Nathan says Matthew might want to get some therapy for that. You had no idea what I was going to say next when I said there's two things that every man needs to do in the shower.
Yeah, that was going to go different directions.
Mark says it's a power shower. Absolutely, that is. We'll have our mailbag coming in just a bit. And the way to get on the mailbag show is to use the hashtag Seahawks, or you can super chat to get to the front of the line. And speaking of the super chats, we have our happy hour menu. And I will give Petey a second to pull this up for you so you guys can see what we are offering today, our happy hour specials. This is as cheap as it gets, folks. as we do not offer these prices on game days. These are for your Wednesday afternoon bargain discounts. Any Super Chat gets you a shout-out, gets you right on the show. $2, you can ask me anything. You can ask Matthew Peterson anything. He can tell you more about why he doesn't pee in the shower. He'll answer all those questions for you. $5, we will take a shot. I got the Fireball in hand here, but if necessary, the Jack Daniels and the tequila are somewhere around here as well. So we can take a shot as well.
I just want to give
go ahead.
Yeah, a quick shout out to Dirty D with the subtle flex of he never peed in the shower until he was in there with his girlfriend one time. We see what you did there. It's not going to be just unnoticed as you weave that into conversation. Congrats, dude. Nice flex on all of us YouTubers. Very, very classy of you.
Oh, yes, very, very classy.
Sinner not waiting for marriage, potentially. I'm just kidding.
So, on the Super Chat menu, by the way, we're 14 likes away from starting the show, everybody. For $10, can we go back to the Super Chat menu one moment? Here we go. $10, that will chug a beer. I have Michelob Ultra in hand today. And then $100, for every $100 on the show, we get out the boot on our happy hour show here on Seahawks Today. So that is the prices. I am offering you a discount that you are not going to get anywhere else but right here on Seahawks Today. $100 for a boot, $10 will chug a beer, $5 take a shot, $2 ask me anything in any Super Chat will get you a shout-out. So that seems to be a pretty good deal that we're offering. Last week, this place got crazy with what we were able to bring in this half-hour special. I am totally down to go crazy today, but it's up to you guys. It's your show. You see the menu there. It's up for you guys to decide how you want to do this. Here we go. First Super Chat coming in from Mark Sanchez. All right, Mark, let's get going. Get the shots rolling already. Oh, I have a feeling it's going to be one of those type of days already. Mark Sanchez, $5 Super Chat. I will answer this question as I pour my Fireball in hand. Seahawks, if Geno Smith continues to play decent, would you sign him long-term or draft a quarterback next year no matter what? So, believe it or not, that was actually a question I already was planning to cover today. And so, we're getting a head start on that. I'll say this. Think about other teams around the NFL, right? We've seen, Petey, the Packers, they had Aaron Rodgers. They still drafted Jordan Love, although they did regret that, but nonetheless they did. And other organizations, the Chiefs had a good thing going with Alex Smith there for a while. He was fine, and they still drafted Patrick Mahomes. And so what I am of the belief is that no matter what you see out of Geno Smith this year, if you find a guy that you like, that you're set on, go ahead and draft him. You could still bring Geno back next year, and he could still start until your guy's ready. That could, give him more time if there's a guy you like. So I would say that you still draft a quarterback if you find a guy you like, but I wouldn't be opposed to bringing back Geno next year if he continues to play like he's been playing right now. I think that's fair, right, Petey?
Yeah, if I could just chime in, I
Go
would
ahead.
say this QB class for this upcoming draft is not shaping up to be
here's to you, Mark.
like a Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Trey Lance type of class, right?
Yeah.
There's the race for C.J. Stroud at 1. Bryce Young's good, but I don't think Bryce Young has dramatically improved his stock.
Right.
I think if Bryce Young was in last year's draft, he would have been the first overall pick. I don't think this year he's going to be the first overall pick.
Right.
So I think you may be down the right path of Geno continues to play like this, which it's only been 4 games. We can pump the brakes a little bit, but still, he might be willing to sign a 1-year, 2-year deal for cheap, stay in Seattle while they mentor whatever pick they use.
Yeah.
They've got 2 firsts and 2 seconds, right? They got the Denver Broncos
I don't think
pick. So
no matter what that happens this year, you're not giving him a long-term deal.
I would not do anything more than 2 years.
No more than 2.
I don't care if he legitimately could do MVP numbers. Well, maybe not then. But I don't want the Seahawks don't probably want to go down the Matt Flynn route, right?
Right.
They buy in on a backup QB who had a great game. Geno's more than just a Week 17 for Green Bay, but still, you do that, and then you end up finding a rookie, and now you're kind of wasted money on the backup veteran who was a one-hit wonder.
Right. Right. That's perfectly said there, Petey. When I look at this for this Seahawks team, Geno Smith, you bring him back next year, no more than 2 years. And then if he somehow does, basically for a long-term deal for Geno Smith, it has to be this year, play like he is playing now, and do it exactly this way again or play better next year for a long-term contract. He's going to have 2 years just like what we're seeing right now. Another super chat coming in from Nathan. An Ask Me Anything question. He says, question will follow, 50 characters too short. So, Nathan, we will get to that question you have for us. Dr. Chicken checking in. Dr. Chicken, thanks for joining us, man. Dr. Chicken is a very reliable viewer here on Seahawks Today. We love it when Dr. Chicken checks in for us. We are just about set to begin Seahawks Today here in just a moment. I want to let Dr. Chicken, or not Dr. Chicken, Nathan, get your question in from that super chat. He says that he's typing it out right now in the chat, the longer question. When you have that question, Nathan, I'll answer it, and then we'll officially get started with the show. So that's what we'll do here. Dr. Chicken, he's a legend of the channel. I mean, I'll say this. Mark Sanchez is up here, and then, I would put Dr. Sanchez in that, or Dr. Chicken in the next class, right? I mean, the ones that you can rely upon here. Dr. Chicken always makes for an interesting time. And here's the question coming in from Nathan. Nathan says, I got into an argument with Murph at Top Billin yesterday. He's mad at Tyler, me or Lockett? I think that's Lockett. For avoiding contact. Okay, yes, that is Lockett. I argue he's too valuable to fight for yards after the first down is made. What do y'all think? Nathan, that's a fair question. I understand exactly where you're coming from, that you want him to fight for extra yardage too, but I think there's a balancing act of sorts. Like if there's 5 guys there, then go down. I mean, there's no reason to fight off, all those defenders in your way. Now, if it's a 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 2, and it's the difference of a first down, if you're going to get that extra yard or not, then yeah, you'd like to see him push. So, Nathan, I understand where you're coming from. I understand where Murph is coming from too. I think there's a happy medium here. Should Tyler Lockett fight for some extra yards more so? Yes. But at the same time, there is a point where you do draw the line. Is that a fair answer?
So it's sort of an unbiased kind of point of view here, not someone in the Seahawk nest.
Right.
Has Tyler Lockett ever been someone who pushes for more yards after the catch, right? Who's ran through people? No, that's not his body frame.
Right.
So I am guessing there was, again, maybe I'm way off base here. I'm guessing there's some talks up in the high office of Seattle of, hey, our top 15 players, top 5 highest paid 15 players, which Lockett falls into. Let's have a conversation about what we're paying you to do. And for Lockett, who just got a pretty decent contract not long ago, there may have been a conversation with Schneider and with Carroll of, your job is not to go and pick up an extra 2 yards by trying to run over a safety.
Right.
Your job is to stretch the field. Don't outkick your coverage. But if I'm way off, you guys can let me know. I think there's some sort of level of understanding of that's not your role. We're not paying you to do that. And we don't want to pay you to sit on the bench because you got hurt. Because you're trying to be, exactly, like you're a sub 6 foot dude, under 200 pounds without even looking it up. Don't go down because you tried to be a hero against a strong safety.
Right. Yeah, I think you're right about that, Petey. Mark says, I love Lockett for doing that. Why fight for extra yards in the middle of the field? Sean says DK's been doing a little too much fight for extra yards. Mark points out he's extending his career by doing that. So a very interesting discussion, Nathan, that you bring up. Great question. Thanks for sending it to us. We'll start the show in just a moment. I want to show you the Super Chat menu here one more time. Here's what's coming up on tap. News and rumors, and then mailbag, and then we will get to our game preview. Super Chat menu today. Any Super Chat gets you a shout-out. $2, you can ask me or PD anything. Doesn't have to be football related. Wink, wink. $5, and we will take a shot. Fireballs in hand. Tequila is also available as well. $10, I'll chug a beer. And then $100. For every $100 on the show, we will get out the boot. So that is what is on the menu today, and a big show ahead. Glad to have you with us here on Seahawks Today. News and rumors coming up. Mailbag to follow, as well as our Seahawks versus Saints preview here on today's show. Go ahead and like the video as you file in, and as your friends get here as well, make sure they like the video, and we'll get started with this live edition of Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones, Matthew Peterson here with you on this Wednesday afternoon. Welcome in to Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Happy to have you with us. On today's show, we have the latest Seattle Seahawks news and rumors, those involving Geno Smith as well as Dee Eskridge, and we also have a roster update on your Seattle Seahawks that we will get to as well. Before we get to any of that, though, we are trying to get to 30,000 subscribers on the channel. Less than 800 subs to get there. But before we even get there, we have a battle of our own that we are engaged in this week, as here at Seahawks Today, we are taking on our Saints channel, and that crew, I believe Will Scott does some stuff there from time to time, Trace Gerard, good guys, we like them, they're family here at Chat Sports, but I don't want to just beat the Saints on the football field. I want the Seahawks to beat the Saints on the internet and on YouTube as well. Let's prove that Seahawk fans are the best fans in football by winning this sub-battle against Saints now on the channel. Let's subscribe now if you haven't already. YouTube.com/SeahawksTV, and we'll get started with today's show. We begin with Geno Smith, as Geno Smith won an award. When I think of awards, I think of the movie The Christmas Story, when the old man wins the leg lamp and says, I won an award. Well, Geno Smith didn't win a leg lamp, but he was named the NFC's Offensive Player of the Week. And this is the second time that he has won a Conference Player of the Week award. First time he's done so since he was a rookie with the New York Jets. And when you look at the numbers, what he was able to do last week against the Detroit Lions, he was fantastic. 320 passing yards, 3 total touchdowns, no interceptions, 49 rushing yards. I really liked what I saw from Geno Smith, and I think I even told you on this show, I said he's going to win some type of award or some sorts for that performance. Sure enough, he did. And for Geno Smith, it really goes along with how his season has gone to this point. The numbers have been pretty impressive through 4 weeks. In the NFL rankings, he leads the league in completion percentage, 77.3%. Yards per attempt, he's 4th in the league at 7.9. His touchdown to interception ratio is 6th in the league at 6-2. Remember, he also has a rushing touchdown in there as well, which would really be about 7-2. And then his QBR puts him 5th at 72.4. His passer rating, that's what's really outstanding, 3rd in the NFL at 108.0. Numbers don't lie. Geno Smith has played really well. And then when you want to break things down even a little further for Geno Smith with the statistics, against man defense, he's been unstoppable. 21 of 31, 292 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and the highest rating of any quarterback in the National Football League, 137.4. Geno Smith has been great. And so with that, I want to hear from you guys. Will Geno Smith continue to play at this elite level? That's what he's at right now. He is playing at an elite level. And we don't take that lightly around here, folks. I want to know from you. Type Y for yes, type N for no, if Geno will continue to play at this elite level that we're seeing from him right now. Let me know. What's interesting to me is that Geno Smith has something figured out right now. He and this Seahawks team and offensive coordinator Shane Waldron and head coach Pete Carroll, they're all kind of on the same page. That they have something going here. And one of the things for me that I would point to is something that I heard from Keyshawn Johnson this week about how the Seahawks and Geno Smith are doing, comparably speaking, to when Russell Wilson was in town and what Russell Wilson is not doing in Denver. And, for Seattle, there's a system in place. There's something that they clearly want to do offensively. And it doesn't require a superstar quarterback to do, right? This is something that you have to run the football first and open up the play-action passing game and limit mistakes. And Geno Smith is doing a great job of that. Russell Wilson obviously wanted to throw the football more, but for what Pete Carroll wants to do, Geno Smith is doing at a very high level right now. He's got this figured out. Here's what Keyshawn Johnson, the former All-Pro receiver, had to say about what's going on. He said this on ESPN just a couple days ago. A coach has a certain philosophy. And his philosophy with Geno Smith, he says to himself, we won doing this. Why would I pay Russell Wilson? Why would I pay $200 million if I can get the same thing I'm looking for out of Geno Smith for us in Seattle? Whatever Denver decides to do, let Denver do. In 4 weeks, he hasn't shown me anything that looks like Mitchell Trubisky. And, by the way, the Mitchell Trubisky comment, the discussion that was going on was comparing, the sample size, right? It is a significant sample size here for what we've seen from Geno Smith. That's not to be taken lightly. 4 games. In 4 games, Pittsburgh found out they didn't want to play Mitch Trubisky anymore. For Seattle in 4 games, they found a guy that's going to be their quarterback the rest of the year. Unless there is going to be some type of injury to Geno Smith, we're not going to see Drew Lock this year. Geno Smith is the guy. Seattle, me, everybody is all in on Geno Smith right now. This is his football team for the time being. Now, as far as the future goes, and down the road and everything, that remains to be seen. But at this moment in time, this is Geno's team. Scale it for me, 1 through 10 in the comments section. Are you all in on Geno Smith? What's your confidence level? How much are you into Geno Smith at this point in time? Scale it for me, 1 through 10 in the comments section, and let me know. Today's show is presented by BetUS, the exclusive sports book partner of Chat Sports, and they are offering a 125% deposit bonus just for Seahawks Today viewers when you use the promo code Seahawks125. You can play now at chatsports.com/bet and use that promo code at checkout. Put $100 down, you get $125 to spend for free. And here's what we are offering Seahawk fans just for this week to celebrate the big-time win against the Detroit Lions from now all the way up until kickoff. If you go to put your bets down at chatsports.com/bet, and then email us, jersey@chatsports.com, you are going to get a Seattle Seahawks jersey. Email us for details so you can be a part of this, whether you want the Tyler Lockett jersey, DK Metcalf, Geno Smith, whatever it may be. We have all sorts of options for you. It's all available at jersey@chatsports.com. You have to be a first-time user of BetUS to get this deal. And if you're wondering, okay, that was a lot to take in. Here's in the simplest of terms. This is all you need to remember. Chatsports.com/bet, promo code Seahawks125, first-time users, 125% deposit bonus. Place your bet on any game, and you can email us at jersey@chatsports.com. We will get you that jersey. Chatsports.com/bet, promo code Seahawks125. Moving on now, let's talk about Dee Eskridge now. And the Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll says he believes that Dee Eskridge could be a big factor by midseason, that he could be a midseason impact player. Now, let's tell you exactly what Pete Carroll had to say, because Dee Eskridge was not much involved against Detroit over the weekend. Just 1 catch for 10 yards, 1 carry for 6 yards. Carroll said, it's great just to get some rhythm and get him out there. We're just anxious to keep including him, and by the middle of the season, he should be regular and rolling and really be a big factor for what we are doing. He's doing well. He's a really tough kid as well. As with all the explosiveness. He's blocking well. He ran tough on the perimeter. He played. So all that is true from Pete Carroll, but here's the thing. I mean, there's no way to slice this. Let's be honest with you, folks. Dee Eskridge needs to do more. He needs to do more to get involved. And I know you may be saying to yourself, well, he's only had 4 total targets. Well, he's got to do a better job of getting open to get more targets. He's been buried in the depth chart with some unusual suspects. You know, I mean, not only do you have DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, but Marquise Goodwin continues to mold into the scheme as well. The Seahawks have also constantly used 3 tight ends with Dissly and Parkinson and Noah Fant through 4 games, making it more difficult for Dee Eskridge to find room in the offense. So I understand that, the going is tough. But, it's got to happen sooner rather than later for Dee Eskridge. And they're going to need him because what's going to happen, there's going to be injuries. There's going to be things that come up. That's the nature of the beast sometimes. Dee Eskridge, when his name's called, he's going to have to be ready to go. So I'm curious from you guys. Our true-false question today here on Seahawks Today, Dee Eskridge will have a breakout campaign. Do you agree with that sentiment? If so, type T for true. If not, type F for false. Let me know in the comments section. True or false, Dee Eskridge will have a breakout campaign. T for true, F for false. Let me know. Now, we told you earlier here on Seahawks Today that we're trying to reach 30,000 subscribers. And one of the things that we are doing each and every week here on the channel is our Seahawks Today watch parties. Every Seahawks game, we are reacting to the game in real time, giving you real-time analysis, having a few beers, enjoying ourselves. It's a grand old time. And you got to be subscribed so you turn on notifications and you don't miss our watch parties. For the Saints game, we had so much fun last week, we're going to actually get started a little bit earlier. We will do about a 30-minute pregame show, and then we'll go live. We'll have opening kickoff, of course, at 1 p.m. Eastern time and 10 a.m. out west. And it's going to be a great time, folks. You're going to want to be here for our Seahawks Today watch party, live shows, everything in between. It's all in one place. Subscribe now so you never miss a moment. Last thing before we go, a roster update. The Seahawks have released Quandre, not Diggs. No. They have released Quandre Mosley from the practice squad. He is no longer a member of that, and we'll keep you posted on more roster updates as they come. As always, we appreciate you. We thank you for joining us here on Seahawks Today. If you made it to the end of today's video, you are a real one. Show yourselves out. Get loud. Get proud. Spam real one in the comments section, and we'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today. Okay, so today is National Coffee with a Cop Day. I cannot say that I've ever had coffee with a cop, but I am an avid coffee drinker. I drink my coffee black as hell, and I'm curious about you guys. How do you drink your coffee? Matthew Peterson, are you a coffee drinker? Okay, we'll get to PD in here in a second. Super chat, though, from Mark Sanchez. Mark, $5. I owe him a shot. Hashtag Seahawks. Who would you like to see play for the Hawks, past or present players? I really wish I would have been around to see Steve Largent at receiver. He's one guy. I think that we said on this upcoming Sunday that if we get a certain number of super chats, I'm going to get a Steve Largent jersey. He's a guy I wish I would have gotten to see. He's a guy that comes to mind for me. Mark, great question there. Here's a shot to you, brother. But yeah, Mark Sanchez, that would be my answer. A guy that I wished I had seen. Tyler Lockett's not Tyler Lockett. Steve Largent's the answer for me. Thanks for the super chat there, Mark. Coffee. National Coffee with a Cop Day. Well, Petey, what's your answer? How do you like your coffee?
With orange, because I don't drink coffee. Just orange juice.
You don't drink coffee?
No, I don't think I've had a sip of coffee since I was 7 or 8 years old and you ask to try your parents' coffee for the first time to see what it's like?
Really?
No, I do not. I'm not a coffee person at all.
What do you not like about it?
Tastes gross.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
I love coffee.
No, see, I love orange juice. I'm
Yeah?
a big OJ guy. I'm probably the
Big
CEO.
mimosa guy?
Love a good Mimi.
Okay.
But I'm like the CEO. My dream job is Tropicana, working high up and making that OJ. Like that's the end goal.
Maybe we'll get
Love
you.
orange juice.
Maybe we'll get you to put down a mimosa boot on Sunday or something.
Oh, I've heard about the mimosa boots. They're pretty legendary for the Northwest.
Yes. Dirty D says Mark Sanchez is going to turn you into an alcoholic. No. Mark Sanchez just knows how to have a good time. So I like my coffee black. Let's see, what else are you guys saying? How do you like your coffee? So Nathan brings up a good point. We need to get PD in the shower with a beer and a cup of coffee and not let him out until he pees. That's good. Spentendo, welcome. Glad to have you here. Let's see. How do you guys like your coffee? So I drink mine black. If I'm not drinking it, Nathan says I certainly don't drink it with friggin' cops. Let's see. So that's how I drink my coffee. I drink it black. I do, from time to time, have a nice mocha. I used to hate iced coffee, but I've come around. I'll have an iced mocha or iced coffee from time to time. Wayne says with Bailey's. Can never go wrong with some Bailey's. We did some coffee shots. I did a coffee boot, I think, last week. I think. Spentendo, great to be here, Papa Jones. Spentendo, you're a real one. Glad to have you with us, Spentendo. Wayne says, let's see, Bailey's. What else we got here? Easily. Okay. Need some questions for the mailbag, by the way. Have to use the hashtag Seahawks, or you can super chat and skip the line. Okay? So I need these questions to come in, and whatever you guys got, whatever is on your mind, use that hashtag Seahawks. That's the only way you are going to get on the mailbag. Please, get those questions coming, whatever you guys got, and we will answer those coming up in just a few minutes from right now. So use that hashtag Seahawks or super chat, and you'll get your question first on the mailbag coming up in just a little while from right now. Send those questions in. We'd love to hear from you in just a bit. Answers on that. I see Nick says, I don't drink coffee. Shots on ice. Vanilla ice coffee. Okay. So a few different options I see on the coffees there from everybody. Let's see. Spentendo, we mentioned that it's good to hear from you. Since you're just getting in, I know that we've had some others get in. Let's pull up the super chat menu if we could here for Spentendo and everybody that might just now be joining us. Here's what we're offering on Wednesdays for our live show. It's happy hour. We're here to have a good time. We're here to be your pick-me-up here on a Wednesday. And so for $2, you can ask me or Matthew Peterson anything. $5, and we'll take a shot. Got the fireball in hand or ready to go right here, my friends. $10, we'll chug a beer. Beer's right here. And then every $100, we will do a boot. Right now, we are at a total of $12 on the Super Chat menu. So we need, I'm not great at math, but that's $88 to get to a boot on Happy Hour today. So that is what we're offering. It's up to you guys if you want to take advantage of it, and we'll offer those throughout the show. Mailbag time coming up in just a moment. Use hashtag Seahawks to get in the mailbag show. Also, super chat, and you will get to the front of the line here on the mailbag. PD, are we just about ready to go? Mailbag time? Okay. We are just almost ready to go. I see you guys getting in your questions. Use that hashtag Seahawks and super chat if you want to get on the mailbag show as we begin in just a few moments from right now here on Seahawks Today. All right, mailbag time here on the channel. We'll get started here right now. Seahawks Today coming up in just a few moments from right now. Before we do, I want to make sure that you turn on those notifications so you can be part of our mailbags here on the channel so you never miss a moment of what's going on. And I got to tell you, we love answering you guys' questions. here on the channel. We do this because of you, and I'm willing to answer anything. So subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you can be a part of our mailbag each and every week here on Seahawks Today. All right, so I have a super chat to get to. This is from none other. Our buddy Mark Sanchez has checked in. Shots, buddy. Let's loosen up. Oh, I feel like that's code word there. Loosen up. Mark, you're throwing at me some shots one by one, and then you're going to hit me with that boot later. I think that's what's about to happen. That's what it sounds like. Based on what you say, shots, buddy, I think you're calling for 4 shots to happen. So, yes, we'll loosen up. There's one. Mark, man, he gets it. He knows how we roll here on Seahawks Today. By the way, Mark, I forgot to tell you, I got the hard hat in. You know what? We'll wear it before the end of the show. I'll have somebody grab the hard hat. It's awesome. Like, I'm ready to bring my lunch pail to work now. Maybe smoke some cigarettes while I'm at it, too. I mean, I feel like a blue-collar Seahawk guy now. I mean, the hard hat is just there. Here's the second shot. Petey, you saw the hard hat. What'd you think? You did? Yeah. Here's the third shot for you, Mark. Perfect. That's 3. One more, and then we'll go back into the mailbag segment. If you guys have questions for us, use hashtag Seahawks, or you can super chat to get on the show. Here is another shot. Mark, glad you got it, bud. Yes, I will gladly wear that thing. So this puts me, that's, I think, like my 5th or 6th shot to begin the show already. So I think we're in for an intriguing day, folks. All right, mailbag time. Hashtag Seahawks. Super chat to get on the show. Mailbag starts officially right now. It is Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. You have questions, and you're in luck. I have answers. Let's go ahead and get to those questions here on our mailbag edition of Seahawks Today. Our first question comes in with the hashtag Seahawks and hashtag Papa Seahawk. After Tariq Woolen's pick 6 against the Lions, has he solidified his roster spot, or is he in the realm of CB1? P.S. I'll have my Seahawk German beer cup ready for Sunday. Glad you got your cup ready to go. Your cup for Sunday starting early right away, Nick. Tariq Woolen, yeah, no question. No questions asked. He is your starting outside corner for the foreseeable future. I know that, the Seahawks got a couple of guys injured and whatnot. We're going to see others come back later in the year. But no question about it, Nick, Tariq Woolen's that guy. He is that dude. And we talked about this earlier in the week on the channel. We broke down, showed you the numbers from PFF, and he's literally gotten better each and every week. And at this rate, if he continues at where he's at right now, he'll be in the Pro Bowl discussion when it's all said and done. That's how well he's been playing at this point in time. The pick 6 was huge. He's a rookie. Sure, there's going to be mistakes from time to time, but he is certainly on the right track. I like what I've seen from Tariq Woolen. Nick, thanks for the question. Next one from Free Little Homie from Alabama. As Forrest Gump would say, Alabama. Hashtag Seahawks. If Geno keeps balling out, will we still draft a QB in the first round next year, or build up the defense, or draft Gabe replacement? I'll say this. The Seahawks have 2 first-round picks, one from Denver, one from Seattle, their own, obviously. I mean, the way Denver's been playing, that looks like, as of right now, that could be a very decent pick. And so I think what you find yourselves in, that you have to use one of those picks on a quarterback. Even if you like what you see from Geno Smith, what it does is it provides you time to get your quarterback ready, that you don't have to rush your next quarterback into things. You're not going to give Geno Smith a long-term contract. That's not going to happen. But what you can do is buy time, essentially. So, free little homie from Alabama, I think you draft a quarterback at this rate, based on the way he's playing right now. You bring Geno back next year, and you still draft more defensive players as well. I think all three of those things are true there. Thanks for the question. Simon writes in, should the Seahawks extend Geno Smith with how well he's played? I'm not agreeing to any extension this week or next week or the week following. This is something that Seattle will have to figure out in the offseason, as far as I'm concerned. There's no benefit to giving Geno a contract at this point in time. But if he plays at this level, if this keeps up like he's been right now, then, yeah, Geno Smith will get extended for a year or two. But I'm not going beyond 2 years as far as the contract extension goes. If Geno is going to be around a long time, then it's going to have to be like what he's playing now and do the same exact thing next year as well for a potential long-term contract after that. But a long-term contract is not in the cards. What say you? Contract extension for Geno Smith? I mean, it wasn't too long ago we were talking about a QB competition with Drew Lock. Now he's clearly solidified himself as the starting quarterback. But beyond this year, I'm not saying contract extension. I'm not there yet. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section. Y for yes, N for no, if the Seahawks should extend Geno Smith. Wayne writes in, hashtag Seahawks, what are the keys this week to a win over the Saints? Healthy dose of Walker and Penny. So we have our game preview video that I highly encourage you guys to check out when you get the chance. And one of the things I would say as far as what you're alluding to, the healthy dose of Walker and Penny, is that this Seahawks offense is best when there's balance. When they establish the run, when Walker and Penny are both effective, but then when Geno Smith can air it out and do his thing as well. So for me, that's what I'm looking for is balance offensively. The defense, I mean, it's been cheeks the last few weeks. No question about it. If you're this defense, I mean, if you can just get any stops, any turnovers, just something, you can't be giving up 45 points every week and expect the offense to score 48. That's just not realistic. So for me, those are the couple things I'll focus on. The rest of those you can check out in our game preview video here on the channel. Next question comes from Ra Hector. Do you trust Woolen to cover team's #1 wide receiver? Well, I'll put it this way. If not Tariq Woolen, then who? I mean, do I trust him? I don't have any other options right now. So I trust him at a default, essentially. That's what I look at here. I like Tariq Woolen and his progress, but, I mean, who else are you going to do? Mike Jackson? Hell no. Mike Jackson's not playing good right now. He doesn't look like the Mike Jackson that we saw in the preseason. No. I mean, I trust him to an extent. Like, yeah, you're going to lose some, but he's playing like the best corner on this team right now. Yeah, I trust him to an extent, if that makes sense, Raw Hector. Thanks for the question. Today's show is presented by BetUS, the exclusive sportsbook partner of Chat Sports. When you use the promo code Seahawks125, you'll get a 125% deposit bonus at chatsports.com/bet. And you put $100 down, you get $125 to spend for free. Now, to celebrate that Seahawks win, which was just so fantastic against the Lions over the weekend, here is what we are going to do. If you email us, jersey@chatsports.com, and you are a new user to BetUS and put that $100 down for that 125% deposit bonus, we are going to give you a free Seahawks jersey. You have to be a new user. You have to put $100 down and get that 125% deposit bonus. You do those things, then a free jersey is on your way. There's no joke to this. We're dead serious about this, folks. So go ahead and get your jersey now. Put that $100 down, and you're going to get the jersey. You're going to get $125 to spend for free, and you can do it all on BetUS. So here's what you need to do to break this down in the simplest of terms. Chatsports.com/bet. Seahawks125 for the promo code. Put $100 down. First-time user. And email us, jersey@chatsports.com. and that jersey will be in your inbox. Do all those things, and the jersey will be on your way. Next question from Andrews wants to know, what is the Seahawks' biggest weakness? Well, I mean, I'll put it this way. So you scored 48. The offense has been able to put up points. The offensive line probably would have been this answer a couple of weeks ago. But the offensive line looked a lot better last week. For me, it's the pass rush right now. And it's that front seven, right? Getting to the quarterback and getting just those tackles. I mean, it's not been good defensively over the last couple of weeks. In particular, it's been that front seven. So for me, that's what I'm looking at. Their biggest weakness is getting to the quarterback. It's getting that pass rush going. What say you? What do you think's the Seahawks' biggest weakness right now? If you disagree with me, that's fine. If you think it's something else, let us know in the comments section what you believe is the Seahawks' biggest weakness at this point in time. Next question coming in from Nick. Nick writes, what's the best defensive and offensive draft pick we could get in 2023? I say Xavier Henderson and Bryce Young. No, Xavier Henderson's not that answer. Sorry. The best player in this draft, I have said this, I'll reiterate, and I'll say it again. The best player, far and none, without question, in the 2023 NFL draft is Will Anderson from Alabama. And I'm on record, I will say this, and I will say it again, that I don't care what my quarterback situation is. Will Anderson is too good to pass up. If you have an opportunity to draft Will Anderson, you draft Will Anderson, and then you figure out your quarterback situation. So, best defensive player, Will Anderson. Offensive player, I like C.J. Stroud better than I do Bryce Young. Bryce Young, not bad. Won the Heisman and everything last year. But I like C.J. Stroud a little more. So those would be my answers. The Seahawks with 2 picks. Let's see what they do with them. If you could get either one of those guys, I think you're going to hog heaven at that point. I mean, you'd feel pretty good if that's the case. Thanks, Nick, for the question. Nathan says, you think we'll see Ryan Neal up to speed and be able to run our big nickel again? You think losing Adams really changed all the defensive scheming we had planned this year? Yeah, it certainly changed a lot of things for this Seahawks team when it came to figuring out the defense. And I'll say this, with Jamal Adams, yes, the Seahawks have not been able to depend on him, and he's been injured, banged up so much his entire time in Seattle. But, as I look at the depth chart, Ryan Neal, I think we had all hoped would be able to slide in with Quandre Diggs. But it's been Josh Jones, and Josh Jones has not played good. And so you would hope that you can find a Band-Aid of some sorts. Look, you're not going to get the production you had with Quandre Diggs, or with Quandre Diggs, rather with none other than Jamal Adams. You're not going to get that production. But what you are going to hope for is whether it's Ryan Neal, whether it's Josh Jones, these guys get better as the season goes along. You're not asking them to play at a starter level. And I know that a lot of people have been on Josh Jones for the way that he's performed and all that. I understand. But you have to have realistic expectations of some sorts, if that makes sense. So, no, you're not going to get the same production you had with Adams. But, yes, you can ask a little bit more. So we'll see. Hopefully things change, but I'll believe it when I see it. Thanks for the question, Nathan. Spentendo, if you could have a sideline beer with any Hawk or Seahawk head coach, who would it be? A sideline beer. That sounds good. A sideline beer with any Seahawk? Man, I could tell you this. As far as having a beer goes, if we're talking, past or present, I think Richard Sherman and Marshawn Lynch would have always been fascinating guys to have conversations with. Now, of guys on this roster right now, I think I would love to talk to Drew Lock. I think Drew Lock is an interesting dude. He's, kind of a frat boy. I think he could probably put down a few beers of some sorts. I think, Tyler Lockett is a very, very smart guy, and you could have a very intelligent conversation with him. Maybe not a beer with Tyler Lockett, maybe like a fine wine of some sorts. But as far as the coaching staff goes, Pete Carroll, a little bit of a weird dude. I don't even know if he drinks beer, but I feel like I could talk everything from, world history to the 3-4 defense with Pete Carroll, and it would be interesting. So I know that's a long answer, but hopefully I've given you a couple options there, Spintendo. Last question before we go. Mark Sanchez writes, I put 500 on the Jayhawks last week and won big. Should I let it ride again? My Kansas Jayhawks. Mark Sanchez, my guy, coming through, getting some nice money there. Love to see it. My Kansas Jayhawks, 5-0, taking on TCU this week. I don't feel good about the money line. I think TCU's a good football team. They had a nice win against Oklahoma over the weekend. But as far as the bet, which you can place on BetUS, by the way, as far as the spread goes, I believe Kansas is about a 7-point underdog this week. Take Kansas to cover. Put that $500 down. And when you win, let me know on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everything in between. You can follow me at Tyler Jones Live, and I'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today. All right. So that's Super Chat. Mark, I believe I owe you, was that a $5 Super Chat? Okay, so there's a shot for Mark. We're at $37 in Super Chats right now, so that means that we are $73 away from a boot. Today is Neil deGrasse Tyson's birthday. Happy birthday, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Here's a shot for Neil deGrasse Tyson. Don't know if he drinks, but we'll drink for him anyway. Are aliens real? In the spirit of Neil deGrasse Tyson, are aliens real? I think that there are some extraterrestrial out there. I don't know if we necessarily are what they think people say they are in our image of aliens in our head. But yes, I believe there is something out there. Matthew Peterson, what say you? Do you believe in aliens?
I used to not believe in aliens, but at this point,
aliens and Neil deGrasse Tyson.
It feels kind of impossible not to believe in them. Just the constant UFO sighting from the U.S. military, and I used to be like, that's not. I don't know. I used to not really care about it because, if they come down here, they're probably kicking our asses. Or, we could be the apex.
Yeah.
And we just blast them back into the sun.
Yeah. We could do that. I believe in aliens. I don't necessarily think they are what people say. I don't think that, an alien is what we saw in the movie like E.T. or something. But I do think there are aliens of some sorts out there. I would guess, too, that they probably don't look like us either. But, I would think that maybe they're more, I would guess they look more like animals than they do us human beings, personally, if I were to guess. What say you guys? Do you believe in aliens? Mark Sanchez says yes. Wayne says shot for Neil, shot for aliens. That's right. We love, let's see, shot for Bigfoot. Bigfoot is got to be somewhere in Seattle. I mean, that's another good question for another day. Again, update in the Mariners game. The Mariners just won on a walk-off base hit in the ninth. Go Mariners. Mariners in the playoffs. Great to see the Mariners do that. Let's see. Nathan says they're calling them cross-domain objects now because they've observed them from going from the bottom of the ocean into orbit now. Free little homie from Alabama says yes. Wayne says shot for Loch Ness Monster. Nick says yes. Dirty D says I think aliens are real. How many wins will the Seahawks have the rest of the season? They're 2-2 right now. Whoa! Boot time! Boot for an alien. Okay. Mark Sanchez comes through. Okay. Mark, my guy, for the aliens. So it is now the official stance of Seahawks Today that aliens are real. Oh, another. Okay, now this show is about to get wild, folks. Okay, so we owe the aliens a boot. And I also had to chug this beer, courtesy of Spentendo. $10. Cheers, go Hawks. So, Mark, we are getting the boot ready. That is on the way. I am just a normal boot right now. Just give me. We'll do Coolers Light for the boot this time. Cold. I'm feeling good today. So I will chug. Spentendo says, here we go again. Yeah, we're at $122. Every $100 is a boot around here. So strap in, chat, says Reflect the Sun. Oh, boy. So I got a boot on the way. They're setting up for me right now. And then we are another $78 away from another boot after that. So I will chug this beer now for Spentendo. And then we'll get the show started. We'll get the party started here on Seahawks Today. Spentendo, this one's for you. There we go. Mark, Coolers Light. Had to mix it up a bit. I chugged the Michelob, which is basically water. But the Coolers Light, I'm feeling Coolers Light for the boot. I need 2 more likes, by the way, to get to 69 likes. I'd really like to get to 69. Great number. I'll put that in the chat right now. Everybody like the video. Make sure your friends like the video too. By the way, we still have one more segment to get to. We'll preview the Seahawks in the Saints game. We'll have that here in just a minute. But we got some drinking to do. We got business to take care of here on Seahawks Today. Man, what a way to spend a Wednesday, right? Happy hour, me and my friends, my Seahawk friends. Wouldn't want it any other way than to be with you guys. Let's see. Mark says, nothing wrong with Coolers. That's what I'm drinking. Okay, so Coolers is Mark Sanchez approved. Okay. So that's good. Oh, we passed 69 likes. Nice. Okay. We got to 69. Very important. Good work, everybody. All right. So here is the boot in all its glory. Mark, we're doing this for the aliens. We officially believe in aliens here on Seahawks Today. Matthew Peterson's got his phone out. Are you recording me? Oh, God. Oh, I said are you, not will you. Oh, gosh. Okay. So, Petey, I checked the beer for Spentendo, but here's the Super Chat menu for more. We're at $122 right now. $78 from now, and we'll do another boot after this one. $10, we chug a beer. $5, we take a shot. $2, you can ask me anything. You can ask Matthew Peterson anything. Matthew Peterson, great guy. He and I, we went to trivia last night. In fact, if you want to get really dicey, and the $2 ask me anything, I challenge you guys to come up with a trivia question for Matthew Peterson. He is a trivia ace. He's probably the best trivia player I know, probably on the face of the earth. See if you can outsmart Matthew Peterson if you got a trivia question for him. It only costs you $2. We got the bets already coming in. Mark says 17.8 today. Wayne says 18.3. Let's put the over-under at 18 seconds. Over-under 18. What do you guys think? Will I go over or under 18? You know what? I'm feeling under 18. I think that can be done today. What say you guys? Type O for over. Type U for under. Simple as that. I'll put that in the chat right now. O for over. U for under. Okay. So, 17.8, 18.3, those are the official predictions. The boot, it's boot time here on Seahawks Today. Matthew Peterson's got his phone out. Free. There we go. My little homie from Alabama says under. That's my homie right there. Oh, Nathan says under or we will mock you. Okay. That sounds like a challenge to me. All right, here we go, folks. Count her down. 3, 2, 1, go. Time. What did we get? 16. Yeah. Under. Take that. Nathan, you said you'd mock me. You can't. I did it. 16. Excuse me. Whoa. There goes my Euro lunch, everybody. Not my personal record, but nonetheless a good time. Woo. Reflect the Sun, record halfway there. Yeah. Man. Nintendo says we need a boot countdown clock graphic. Brett, or one of our bosses around here, if you're listening, that's a great idea. Boot clock. Dirty says, yeah. Voodoo says, I stand corrected. Good show. Yes. We just know them as demons. Oh, very good. All right. So that's one boot down. If you guys want another, we're at $122 right now. $78 away, another boot. I still have another segment to get through, but that's the Super Chat menu, and we will continue. The show rolls on here on Seahawks Today. Glad to have you with us on this Wednesday afternoon. Reflect the Sun says, Tyler is an animal. I can smell the Euro from here. It was a good Euro. What did you have for lunch today, Petey? Okay. Here we go. So we told you that Matthew Peterson is a trivia ace. And Mark, 2 for 1 here. I'll take the shot, and Petey will attempt to answer the trivia question.
All right, see trivia with a shot. Who passed the most yards in a single game? Ooh, good question.
In NFL history?
Yeah, couple names come to mind. One of them, I don't think is number 1, but he's up there. I think that Matt Flynn game that got him a lot of money from the Seahawks is sneaky up there, but I don't think it's number 1. I'm going to go with, I think it's one of the basics. I think it's one of the classics, Brady, Manning, or Favre. I mean, unless it's some weird random QB from the 80s, like, that I'm not thinking of, I'm going to go with Brett Favre. He holds a lot of records. But I think Matt Flynn, speaking of Green Bay, is sneaky up there too. But I'll keep with Brett Favre. Mark, let me know if I'm right or wrong.
Is that your final answer?
That is my final answer.
Okay. So, the record belongs to Norm Van Brocklin.
See, that's exactly what I was afraid of. With some random dude. Give me the top 5 in order.
So, Norm Van Brocklin played for the Los Angeles Rams against the New York Yanks.
Jeez, it does not count.
In 1951. Oh, and there you go. Mark Sanchez knew it. He said wrong on. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did try to cover my let me see. I'm curious really quickly.
Matt Schaub is second,
Okay.
527. Warren Moon tied for second, 527. Fourth is Joe Burrow at 525.
Really?
Did it last year against the Ravens. Fifth, Big Ben Roethlisberger, 522. Did against the Colts in 2014.
Yeah.
Tied with Boomer Esiason, who did it for Arizona against Washington in 1996.
How far up is Favre even on this list?
Favre, let's see.
Yeah, I don't think he's top 50. Tua is in 50.
Yeah, I don't see Favre anywhere on here.
No.
Matt Flynn, by the way, that game you're referring to,
Yeah.
480 yards.
See? I was
He's
not too far off.
35th on the list, and did it against the Detroit Lions there when he was with Green Bay. Earned him a contract.
Yeah,
in
made him
Seattle.
a ton of money.
Yeah.
One game.
So yeah, that's a good question. So, Mark, you 2 for 1 there. I took the shot. Petey answered the question. I'm sorry that Petey did not know the answer, but I mean that's a tough one. Norm Van Brocklin. Did you know much about Norm Van Brocklin? Okay. Real quick, one more time before we get to our final segment. Oh, another. Here you go, Petey. You're back on the clock. Trivia question coming in from Nathan. Nathan writes in with a $2 super chat. First player Seahawks franchise ever traded for.
I am not a Seahawks aficionado, so this is going to be really tough. I have no idea. I'm just trying to think of someone old, and there's no way I get this. Did they maybe trade for, what's that QB, Zorn?
Jim Zorn?
Yeah, that Seahawks legend, like good QB from a while ago. That's like the oldest Seahawks player I think I can remember.
So Jim Zorn did spend a year on the Cowboys practice squad.
I didn't know they traded for him. I just know he played for a while. So he played a long time ago.
Let's see. This answer, as the host / moderator trying to ask you these questions, this one for me, I'll be honest, kind of hard to find the answer to. I don't know it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that for any team, honestly.
Nathan, we give up. Tell us what the answer is.
You stumped us, Nathan.
Yeah, Nathan, good job by you. Me or Petey. Nathan says to Tyler, no, Nathan, I don't know. You got me on this one. I'm very curious. What do you guys in the chat? What are the guesses? It was not Matt Flynn. Dorsett, lineman from Notre Dame. Can't remember his name. Let's see. Okay. Nathan, tell us what is that answer? It wasn't. Oh, it was Steve Largent. Okay. First player from the Houston Oilers. I would say, without knowing what the compensation is off the top of my head, that the Seahawks probably won that trade. How about that? Steve Largent, the answer. He was on the Oilers practice squad in 1976, the offseason practice squad, then ended up in Seattle after that. So thanks for the question. All right, final segment here on Seahawks Today. We are at $129. We are $71 away from another boot here on Seahawks Today. But right now, let's go ahead and preview the Seahawks matchup with the New Orleans Saints. Welcome in to Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Happy to have you with us. On today's show, we will preview the Seahawks matchup with the New Orleans Saints this weekend. We will get to all of that and more in just one moment. Now, let me tell you this. I have my keys to the game that I'm going to give you here in just a second. But this matchup is pretty interesting to me because you have a Seahawks team who people did not have much expectation for this year, right? And then you have a Saints team who was like an outside pick to win the NFC. Some people liked them more than Tampa Bay in their own division. And now the Saints have had an awful start at 1-3. And then you have the Seahawks sitting at 2-2 and are better than advertised. Are they great? No, but they're playing better than I think most people thought. And so with the Saints and all their injuries and all that, this makes for a sneaky good game. What looked like before the season began, New Orleans at home, no thank you. Now all of a sudden looks like maybe Seattle could pull this off. 5.5-point favorite New Orleans is. Over-under's 46. Who do you got? You going with the Seahawks or are you going with the Saints? If you think the Seahawks pull it off, type C, S-E-A for Seattle. If they think it will be New Orleans that gets it done at home, type no. Type NO for the Saints. Let me know. C for Seattle, no for the Saints. The injury report for the Seahawks this week. Darryl Johnson, as we reported to you earlier here on the channel, is dealing with that ankle injury that he suffered against Detroit. He is out indefinitely. He will not play. Justin Coleman and Haynes and Joey Blount all are questionable for Seattle, so we'll know their status closer to game time if they will play or not. My keys to victory for your Seattle Seahawks this week. And what I point to first is balance on offense of both the run game and the pass game being effective, where they can work well together. Last week, we saw it all come together for the Seahawks offensively. That 48-point performance, they were able to get both sides to play well together, play well as a collective unit. I liked what I saw from the Seahawks on all ends when it came to both the offense with the run game and the pass game. You look at the numbers, 555 yards of total offense, 320 passing yards, 235 rushing yards, and they were able to get 8.8 yards per play. Okay? That's what I want to see more of. Yes, you start with the run game. You establish the run to open up the passing game and let everything else work from there. And that comes with balance. Finding that balance, I want to see more of that. What you did against Detroit, that game plan, whatever worked for you there, do that again. Do it just like you did there against Detroit. That's what I want to see for the Seahawks team, is to find that balance, go back to the well of what they did last week as far as I'm concerned there. So, now, what Geno Smith are we going to see? Geno played great last week. You saw the statistics. We showed you there how well the offense went with Geno Smith leading the way. Will he play great again? Will we see two great games from Geno? It's Geno time, folks. If you think so, type Y for yes. If not, you're not feeling so hot, you think there's going to be a letdown week, type in for no. Let me know in the comment section. Y for yes, in for no, if Geno will play great. Today's show is presented by Mint Mobile, and Mint Mobile is an awesome wireless company that we are partnered with here at Chat Sports. And if you go to mintmobile.com/chatsports, you can start saving today with plans starting as low as $15 a month. And you can switch your service seamlessly between 5G and 4G LTE. Whichever one is strongest, they're going to take care of you and make sure you're covered. You don't have to worry about airplane mode or any of that. You're going to be just fine. You can start saving today. Look, we're all trying to save every penny we can right now. And with Mint Mobile, they're great. You can start saving on your cell phone plan today and still have great coverage with Mint Mobile. MintMobile.com/chatsports. All right, my number 2 key is winning the turnover battle. And I know that realistically you could say that for about any game, right? That, you know, when you look at winning the turnover battle, that's almost a given. But this New Orleans Saints team is ranked dead last in the NFL when it comes to turnover margin. -7. Look, I don't know if it's going to be Jameis Winston or if it's going to be Andy Dalton that's going to be starting for the Saints. Depends on Jameis' health status. But either way, this Saints team has a turnover issue. And if you're Seattle, you have to capitalize on the weakness of the Saints here, of what they do to protect the football, but they also don't create a whole lot of turnovers themselves here. So if I'm the Seahawks, I'm doing whatever I can, not only to take care of the football, but also to force those turnovers and win the turnover battle and take advantage of the Saints, their weakness there when it comes to that turnover margin. Number 3 is pressure on the quarterback. And, you know, I'll say this. We look at the Saints, and they have some pretty good weapons offensively, right? I mean, now the status as far as health goes still remains to be seen when it comes to the likes of, you know, Alvin Kamara and Chris Olave and some of those guys. We still don't know who ultimately is going to play for the Saints, but they do have weapons. And so getting pressure on the quarterback is going to be so crucial, and the Seahawks have not done a good job of getting pressure on opposing quarterbacks that they face. The Seahawks right now are ranked tied for 29th in the NFL when it comes to sacks. Just 7. That's all they've had through 4 weeks. They're going to have to get more pressure on the quarterback and disrupt things. Look, whether it's Andy Dalton or whether it's Jameis Winston that you're facing, either way, I want to put those guys into difficult situations. I want to make things hard for both those guys to deal with. And so, personally, I think I'd actually rather face Jameis Winston because we've seen that he can be an interception machine. And forcing him to pressure, whether it's him or Andy Dalton, either one, I think I'd rather face Jameis, but I'd be feeling pretty good. If you can create turnovers, if you can get pressure on the quarterback, watch out, folks. Who would you rather play? Let me know in the comment section. Andy Dalton or Jameis Winston? AD for Andy Dalton, JW for Jameis Winston. I think the real answer here is Taysom Hill. But Taysom Hill is such a bad quarterback. But these two, it could be worse as far as the quarterback matchup goes, as far as I'm concerned. Join us here on Seahawks Today each and every day by subscribing to the channel, youtube.com/SeahawksTV. We are trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. When we do, I will do a Gatorade bath. We have less than 800 to go, but we need your help to get there. And we have a watch party coming up this weekend for the Seahawks and Saints game. And that one, I tell you, folks, is going to be a great time. We're going to do about a 30-minute pregame show. We'll react to the game in real time, and then we'll do a postgame show as well, all on the channel. Subscribe now so you can join us right at kickoff and have a great time. You will not want to miss it. YouTube.com/SeahawksTV. A couple more keys to the game for you. I mentioned pressure on the quarterback was going to be key, but what about penalties? Look, you know, one of the things that I look at that is a point of frustration at this Seahawks team is just the careless mistakes, the penalties that we've seen, the yellow flag problem for Seattle. Seattle's ranked 30th in the league in penalties per game, 8.0. 31st in penalty yardage, 76.5. Now, here's the thing. I know that we all love to complain about officiating, and I understand where you may be coming from. Sometimes that just straight up sucks when that happens. But at the end of the day here, you still have to take care of your own problems. You still have to take care of your own issues. You have to clean up your house. So for me, that's what I'm looking at as far as the penalties go. Can't get in your own way and make those self-inflicted wounds as far as I'm concerned. So the penalties got to come down a bit as far as I'm concerned. Now, I want to talk about one more key to the game here in just a second when it comes to the X factors. And I have a couple names that I'm going to give you here in just a second as far as those X factor receivers go. You know, we've seen DK Metcalf. He finally broke out, had a great game last week. Tyler Lockett is coming along. But I feel like each and every week there's got to be a third option, another guy that steps up. And, you know, we heard from Pete Carroll say this week that Dee Eskridge was a guy that he was looking at to have a midseason breakout. But the way that this offense is built, with the emphasis on the tight end, to me, I'm focusing on two names. Will Dissly, who's had 12 catches for 116 yards and 3 touchdowns. And then Noah Fant as well. Both these guys, one of them, it doesn't have to be the same guy every week, but both these guys have to be reliable. Noah Fant in particular, I expected more out of him this season, and he hasn't lived up to it yet. I want to see more out of Noah Fant. I want to see him, Dissly, whoever it may be, have to be an X factor, have to have that other option for Geno Smith to get the football to. Give me a name. Who needs to step up for Seattle this week? One name. Maybe it was somebody we mentioned. Maybe it was somebody we did not mention. Let me know in the comment section. Who needs to step up for Seattle for a win on Sunday? With that, those are my keys to the game. To recap, balance on offense, winning the turnover battle, getting pressure on the quarterback, whether that's Andy Dalton or Jameis Winston. Got to cut down the penalties, and finding that X-factor receiver. If the Seahawks do all those things, they'll be in good shape. But with that said, hard to pick against these Saints at home. I'll be honest. I'm going with the Saints. I like the Saints to win this one 25-20. I think the Seahawks compete. They make it an interesting game, but the Superdome, that is a tough place to play. The Saints have a lot of good talent. I know they have some injury issues, but they are further along than the Seahawks are as far as I'm concerned. So that's who I got. We'll see if things go differently. But there you have it. We'll see how things work out. Join us for the watch party. It's going to be a lot of fun on Sunday. Have a great day. Thanks for joining us here on Seahawks Today. All right. So that is our game preview. We are through our segments now. So now it's up to you guys to determine how much further we go in this show. I believe we have some super chats to catch up to. Reflect the Sun. What do you got? Let's see. $5 super chat. Who's currently rated number 5 in QBR and number 21 in QBR after 4 weeks in the NFL? I believe this is another trivia question for Petey. Really?
So I didn't look it up or anything.
Okay.
I think this question is being asked, and these two numbers are being picked out for a specific reason. I think number 5 is Geno Smith, and I think number 21 is Russell Wilson. I'm guessing Reflect the Sun didn't just pick two random quarterbacks.
At
but
5 and 21, yeah.
They have a motive behind this question, and that is Geno is 5, Russ is 21. If I didn't go that route, though, I don't know. Number 5, I know the top quarterbacks this year have not been the usual suspects.
Right.
So, ooh.
Okay, let's run through this. Number 1 is Patrick Mahomes. Number 2, Tua. Number 3, Josh Allen.
Okay.
Number 4, Cooper Rush. Number 5, Geno Smith.
Okay, and it's 21 Russ?
Moving on down now.
I have a feeling 21 is absolutely Russ.
18, Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
19, Daniel Jones. 20, Kirk Cousins. 21, Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I called it.
Oh, Reflect the Sun. Thanks for the question. Petey, good work on getting that answer right. Next one, another $2 question for you. Are we better against Dalton or Winston, says Nathan. I believe I answered that question in the mailbag. I would rather face Winston because he is more prone to turn the football over, and he's coming off the injury personally. But, I mean, let's be honest. Petey, I mean, both these guys suck.
Here's what I'll chime in with.
Okay.
If the Seahawks are going to come into New Orleans and knock off the Saints, they need to, it's like in National Treasure. They need to change the status quo, right? You remember that line from the old dude? Whose dad is that? That's someone famous's dad. I don't remember whose mom. It's a famous dad. Like Nick Cage's dad in the movie National Treasure is low-key a famous guy, and I'm not very good at celebrities.
I thought you would be.
Who's Nick Cage's dad?
Jon Voight, which is the father of Angelina Jolie.
That's exactly. Okay. So, if you're going to play Jameis, you're signing up for chaos, right?
Right.
He's in the 30 for 30 club. 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. Dalton is going to be a much more calmer presence and be less volatile.
Right.
And if you're the Seahawks, you need madness, right?
Right.
You need some craziness. You need some bounces your way. I think you'd rather face Jameis because he offers that possibility of Jameis being Jameis.
I think
Dalton is going to be 225 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. And you need some Jameis plays to get you back in this game probably.
So to add to your point, Petey, I would say that you were more likely to get blown out by Jameis, but you are more likely to put him through misery. Right. It's that gunslinger thing, right? Yeah. That's where I would say you rather face Jameis than Dalton, as far as I'm concerned.
Trivia question from Mark Sanchez.
Another $5 shot.
How many times have the Seahawks used the number 1 overall pick? Good question. I'm 24. I don't remember them having the number 1 overall pick in my lifetime.
I think I know this answer, but Petey, this question's for you. So.
I know the team that has used the first overall pick the most isn't maybe who you think it is. It's not the Jags or the Browns. I believe it is the now Indianapolis Colts. When they were the Baltimore Colts and then the Indianapolis Colts, I think they racked up some first overall picks. So for the Seahawks, I know there was one team that's never had it, and for some reason, I feel like it is Seattle. So
Bingo! You're correct.
I know that just one team's never had the first overall pick.
So I knew that was the answer. I double-checked just to make sure. And, yes, that is correct. The Seahawks.
Do you see who has the most overall selections at number one?
I'm
going to go with the Colts.
Got a guess?
I got the Colts. I think they sneaky, even though they've been good, that franchise when they were in Baltimore was kind of trash. And then they got Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck. I think Drew Luck.
It's a tie.
Colts and Browns, I'll say.
You got one of them. Colts are correct. The other is the Rams.
Okay, see, I was going to come with the Rams, but I guess Goff was first. No, yeah, Goff was first overall.
Andrew Luck was the last one for the Colts.
Yeah, Peyton Manning went one.
Yeah.
And Goff and Luck went one.
Sam Bradford went one for the Rams.
Sammy Bradford and
Sammy Sleeves.
Sammy break my finger. Okay.
We are almost done unless you guys want to go longer. Let's throw up the Super Chat menu for you guys. We're at $141 in Super Chats right now. We are $59 away from another boot. I'm going to put the shot clock on right now. 2 minutes on the clock. If we get a Super Chat within the next 2 minutes, then we'll keep going. If not, then we will go home and see you for the watch party coming up on Sunday. Clock starts right now. 2 minutes on the clock. Will we get another boot, or will we go home with just one boot today? I feel like Mark, Reflect the Sun, Spentendo, all you out there, I feel like at least one more boot in me before we go. What do you guys think? Can we do one more? 2 minutes on the clock, $59 away from another boot before we go. Otherwise, we go home, and we'll see you on Sunday. So I love the trivia questions. PD has done oh, there it is. That, I told you it didn't take long. Oh, another. All right. So we ride. So, Reflect the Sun and Mark Sanchez each sent in $59. So, that is, I said I needed 59. That's at least one. That means now, Reflect the Sun, we are, from the second one, $40 away. But Reflect the Sun, I still owe you for that, obviously. So, Mark says that's two. You know what, Mark? You asked for it, you get it. Let's do two. Here's what I'm thinking. Let's try something different here. We have a second boot in the building. Okay? I want to do them back to back. No stoppage. Petey's looking at me like I'm crazy. I think I am crazy for this. We will do these back to back. Yeah. My funeral indeed, as Petey says. Oh, there's another. Oh, mama. There goes that man. Okay. Reflect the Sun. The back-to-back boots. Here we go. I love it that you guys don't want the show to end. Mark Sanchez, Reflect the Sun. You guys make it happen. All right. 36 seconds or we will mock you. Here we go. Let's do this, my friends. I have never done this before. of back-to-back boots simultaneously. Okay? We are breaking ground here on Seahawks Today. Maybe the first time ever in Chat Sports. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking let's put a very conservative number on this. Let's do 1 minute. Over under, can I do 2 boots in 1 minute? Type O for over, type U for under. Oh. What do you guys think? Spentendo, thanks for joining us. I'll see you Sunday. Got to get those kids to bed, I understand. Shout out those kids. Okay. So 2 boots. This could be another wardrobe malfunction. It very well could be. You know what? And since we got the cuts in, which you guys will see on the VOD, let's loosen up a little bit, shall we? There we go. You like that? Okay, you'll like that. You know what? In fact, let's pop the collar while we're at it, too. Okay? Now we're loosened up here. Okay. You guys like what you're seeing there? Okay. So far, you missed a lot, Petey. Yes. We're going to do this. I'm going to do this.
Hey, buddy.
This might be my death sentence. So.
Careful with this here.
Yeah, might as well take. I don't need it now. We might as well put that computer away. Well, actually, no, I need to communicate with the people. I'm going to put the computer as far away from possible. So, here is what we will do. I have both boots right here. The goal is a minute. Mark says use the hard hat for the magic. Yes. Tell you what. Petey, do some shout-outs on your end, and I will go grab the hard hat for good measure. We got some great people. Reflect the Sun, Wayne, Mark Sanchez. Petey, go ahead while I go grab the hat. Shout out to everybody. Type me if you're watching, if you're still with us here. I'll be right back.
All right, everyone. Are we even... Oh, my mic's over here. All right, guys. Are we even talking about football anymore, or is this just a complete drinking show here? Because I thought maybe we could talk about the Hawks and how they fare this week. I had a hairdresser, that sounds so weird, barber at the last place I lived. He was a huge Seahawks fan. So every time I got a haircut, I got caught up on the latest on Seattle. So like every 6 weeks, I got a full dose of Hawk talk. But now it's been a while. Now I'm with you guys though right now, so I don't know what to expect from Teacher right now. He's a big fella. This is a lot of liquid going down. There's only so much room, and now he looks like he's ready to break ground.
We're breaking ground here.
Oh God.
All right. I don't think I can wear the headset with the hard hat, but I'm trying my best.
No, don't wear the headset. Just I'll commentate.
Okay.
While you down these bad boys. You sure you want to do this?
I am very sure.
All right, Kimosabi.
Okay. All right, guys. So over under 1 minute. I'm seeing a lot of confidence from you guys. I see a lot of unders in there. Let's do it. The hard hat. I'll do a little spin, show you guys here. Mark Sanchez sent this in this week. Seahawks. And then we got the old school AFC logo here. We're looking dapper. Thank you, Mark. All right. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And we're off. Teacher taking an aggressive approach to boot number 1. There's the bubble. How will he handle it? Seem to have avoided disaster that go around here. Moving swiftly through boot number 1. A little over 10 seconds in right now. No sign of slowing down. Slight drippage. The officials will dock him some points there. Boot number 1's down. No break for boot number 2. No, coming up for some air here as Teacher prepares himself for boot number 2. 3 on the day, and he is off. This is a lot to bring into one human body. Teacher having some slippage, but now he tidies himself up a little bit here. Tyler facing the bubble. Will it burst? There's the burst. How will he react as it makes its way towards him? Flawless handling right there. Perfect execution. Running into some more riptides at the moment. It's there. It's there. Teacher, just a few big boy sips away. Can he pull it off? Tyler Jones, the rookie for Seattle. He's got it.
Oh. Ow.
That's got to hurt.
Oh. What's my time?
Not a lot. I didn't keep time.
Oh. Wow. Oh.
Wow. What a sight.
Oh, I'm hurting.
What a spectacle.
I'm hurting. Oh.
Boot.
Wow. That was something. Folks, I put my body out on the line for the Seahawks fans. That did not feel pleasant.
Could someone go back and count, like rewind in YouTube for me, please? And give us an official time in the chat right now?
Yeah, please.
Someone scroll back and just see where he starts.
Let's see.
I think it was under a minute. I think the first one was probably 20 seconds. You took a 5-second recess.
Right?
And then the next one was probably like 22 seconds.
Oh.
So I think it was about 55-ish seconds.
Oh, man. Has that ever been done before here at Chat Sports? Back-to-back boots?
Richard thinks about 40 seconds. No, teacher. This is an award that belongs. It's kind of like in The Office when Kevin Malone, when they're doing the Office Olympics, and he was like, I can eat a billion M&Ms in one handful. And Jim was like, no one else should even try. Like, that is your award right there.
Richard says roughly 40 seconds. My first ever boot I did here at Chat Sports, I did in 38 seconds. And so if I am doing 2 boots in 40 seconds, we've come a long way.
40 seconds, that's incredible.
I'm going to have to pee in the shower after that one.
You're not going to make it to the shower. Be a dog on the sidewalk. All right. I think with that,
That's a lot of liquid.
we're
Besides just the alcohol, just the liquid alone.
going to sign off here. I think
I don't
Teacher's
think
done.
we have a choice.
Yeah, I think Teacher's he's had a good share of the good old liquor today. A little Jim Leahy action right now. If you know, you know.
Guys,
All right, you want to give some final thoughts here while we pack up shop?
I'm going to pee in the shower. Probably not going to have a shower beer, I'll be honest. But you know what? This hard hat got me through it. I brought my lunch pail today. You know, this was quite the day we had here at Chet Sports. Join us on Sunday. We'll do about a 30-minute pregame. And we'll go live after that. Mark Sanchez, Reflect the Sun, all of you. I can't wait to see your Nathan, all of your bright, shining faces on Sunday. I got to go because I got to piss. And we will see you on Sunday. Thanks for joining us, everybody.